finished the Patagonia trip and they're back now in UK
Okay, so
Okay.
now they're planning their next trip.
to go to Manaslu.
Okay, Manaslu.
Wow.
Yeah.
So anyway, very warm welcome. We're just recording now. So just want to, just for the benefit of anybody that does watch on record. So my name's Ronnie, and I'll introduce myself a bit more as we go through a deck that I have on slide. And obviously you've met the amazing Hina Shah, who's actually one of our secret ingredients and weapons to the custom experience that we bring. So I'd love to share a bit about what we do. And I'll be going through the deck. And Hina just told me that she had met you on a Brecons hike. Is that correct?
That's right. Yes.
Okay. And do you guys do regular hikes in the UK?
That was, I mean, we do it when we are in preparation for any major hikes. But normally, I just like running or going to the gym. The other guys do their own walking schedules.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. So, I'll share a little bit about Kilimanjaro. We love mountains as well. And, I left a lovely career in banking and now do this. I do a lot of adventure and fitness. And hence the name FITBANKER. But also we do something because my old experience of working in corporate, finding a good deal online and going ahead and booking it, found a slight gap, so something missing in what I saw could be possible in terms of luxury. Now, I'm sure whoever you're speaking to, there'd be a great organization, great reputation, a lot of success. And many of the organizations that do take up Kilimanjaro. I wouldn't say that there are organizations that you have a really terrible, shoddy experience, but we just wanted to take what could be good or moderate or average to really an exceptional experience, primarily because of the communities that we've tended to attract and the groups of people that we've tended to attract. We've attracted a lot of women, we've attracted a lot of people from the Asian community, we've attracted a lot of entrepreneurs, we've attracted a lot of beginners and novices to mountains, people who've never done a mountain, to go from zero mountain experience to the summit of Kilimanjaro. We've taken people who are overweight, elderly, young, even a paraplegic. We've taken them to summit.
Right.
Yeah, so we've taken somebody last year who had one arm missing. We've taken people with
I've seen that. I've seen on the video. Yes.
Yeah, we've taken people with underlying health conditions, with asthma, with high blood pressure, with some irregularities in their heart formation, like a hole in the heart. We have taken diabetics and people with various meal requirements, vegans, vegetarians, gluten intolerant, people who love the Indian food. And so we've taken, we've catered for all these requirements. I know as a group, all of you may have, and I don't know, Dr. Venu, whether you got my voice note. Did you get to see it?
I forwarded it to my guys as well.
Okay. Now, the only reason I just told Hina, look, let's just try and have one last conversation. You guys might have, by all means already made a decision, and it might be a great decision to say, hey, look, we're getting this for 2,500. But and I can even send you to people that would be even cheaper if you want cheaper, right? We know everybody in the network there. I've now done 10 summits, and I'll be going for number 11. And other than 10 summits, I've done 2 other climbs up there, which is taking a 3-year-old, my 3-year-old, up to 4,000 meters, and then took him again at 6 years old, up to that altitude. And so you can imagine when we're taking people with underlying conditions or young kids or the elderly, we've taken as old as 76-year-old up the mountain. We have to have a lot of precautionary measures. We don't take shortcuts on things like oxygen. We don't take shortcuts on things like, in case of evacuation, how many team do we need and what do we need ready at base and radio contact and so on. And we also have, not included in our price, but we are introducing now a helicopter exit for anybody that wants to rush down. We've tended to attract a lot of high net worth individuals who, once they get to summit, they don't want to take a day and a half. So they just want to come back from the summit to the point where the helicopter is, and they take 7 minutes to go down instead of another 30 hours getting down. So some people do that, but all those options are there. We are really interested in all of you and everybody that will be joining this. Kilimanjaro is the summit of Africa. I'm from Africa. I've grown up in Africa. I'm actually born in Tanzania, but I'm now in Zambia, and I've been in London with JP Morgan. So I'll just share my story in a moment. Let me start here. Are you able to see the screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay, cool. So when I first did it in 2014, I was an overweight guy, 103 kg, 40-inch waist size. I was by all means a fat banker, and I had no belief or conviction that I could do something like this. I had very little training, but then I found that I got to summit, and I was one of the least fit in my group, yet a lot of the others struggled. So I found out in that moment that regardless of how fit and experienced we are, we'll react differently to climate. And those of you that have done mountains, you'll know that. We found after that mountain that a lot of people had some big paradigm shifts in their life from experiences from the mountain. So I thought, wow, this could be a leadership program. And so we created a leadership program. So we run an 11-day leadership program. We have now run 9, and the 10th leadership summit is happening next year. I've personally summited 10 times, but 9 times as running a program, 1 as a consumer, right, of another company, and that was a charity event. So what we do is we have monthly prep webinars, and if you're in the UK, there are monthly hikes that we run. We have a whole trekking company that we run in the UK. So we plan the events. We give you the calendar of treks, which we're about to release this week, and you can join those hikes to support you in your preparation. So they're all designed and timed to build up towards Kilimanjaro. The next year we're doing Machu Picchu as well, so they're building up towards Machu Picchu in September. And then we also have Morocco, and then we also have an adventure retreat here in Zambia. So 4 big retreats happening next year. Plus there's one which is not adventure-based happening in Sicily that we're running. What's really, I really want to stress this about us is we're not just a guide company. So you're not booking with a guide company with us. And when you book with a guide company, I'll be honest with you, the actual team that you will have will more or less be locked in or certain about 10 days to 2 weeks before you get there. There will be 1 or 2 good English speaking guides at the forefront that you will meet and interact with. And then there will be maybe 40, 50 or 100 people who are not great with English speaking, still great quality, still great guides, great team. What I felt is that as we bring people from out of Africa, they're not Swahili speaking, they can't understand the language. And sometimes something is just missed in communication. So I go out personally. So I or one of our leaders would lead it. So either Hina or we have another couple of co-leads that would lead a program of this nature. If you're doing July, if it's the dates that Hina's told me, that's something I personally would make. So that would be my summit number 12. If I'm successful, my 11th one, which happens in June. But what we do is we wanted to bring together that everyone has a push, a challenge and an adventure. And at base, there's a specific tribe that is the mountain people that we get to have a little bit of cultural immersion. We go and see one of the traditional villages. We go and see coffee plantations. We have a little bit of a acclimatization day where we go on a mini hike there. And you get to try out some local foods and other cultural immersion. We want to ensure that, first of all, your body breaks into it for about a day and 2. We allow 2 days at base normally. So we want you to be there 2 nights. And on the 3rd day, we start the ascent. Then there's a physical and mental challenge which you will have through the mountain. And how do we also ensure there's luxury? Now, we've had people come there and they've not summited because 3 days of poor sleeping, 3 days of cold, 3 days of bad food, not tasty food, no hydration, that impacts their body and they're taken off. Everything else was great, but the equipment and the experience compromised their statistical success. And so what we do is we have a ratio of about 4.5 people per climber. So if I'm taking 18 of you, we're going to have close to 80 support team.
Okay.
8 people plus 18 of you, right, will be coming plus myself. And I might even have a co-lead that will be helping or somebody at base. We also are networked with things like the Indian community there, the Indian restaurants. If you have any vegetarians, if you want eggless cake, if there are any celebrations, any parties, we take care of all that stuff, which the other providers, I've shown up there and opened a lunchbox as a vegetarian and find a chicken in there. You know, some small things like that happen due to breakdowns in communication. And so, you know, there's a blend of that luxury plus international cuisine. So every day is a different cuisine. We will have Indian food, we will have Italian food, we'll have Mexican food, we will have traditional Tanzanian and Chaga food, the tribe that's at base. We have the best hygiene. We bring in some of our ingredients, actually. We also are big on recovery. So we bring some supplements and protein. We recommend we'll give you first a list for each of you to pack your personal supplements for recovery. I'm a nutrition coach. and a health coach, so I ensure I know what we need for the mountain, like electrolytes and so on. But we also bring our own protein and sometimes electrolytes just in case people need, because every day the mindset is to work on recovery that night, so tomorrow you're ready to go again. And then safety, we totally don't cut corners with safety. We have excess teams, so if midway somebody has a complication, they need to go down, they can go down with a tent, with a guide, with a porter and a chef, and still the team carrying on has those same crew with them. So sometimes what happens, somebody's in danger, they either have to leave them there while the rest proceed, or if somebody is in danger, some key people will go down and the rest will be compromised with going to the top, right? So small things like that can happen. As mentioned, we're not just a mountain guide company. I'm a former banker, vice president of JP Morgan. I've been in finance for 12 plus years. I'm now a 10-time summiteer. I'm a TEDx speaker. I'm a coach. I'm a keynote speaker. We train large corporates, and I'm not bragging, but I love this, and you'll get a lot of conversational experience and fun with some of the team building activities that we do on Kilimanjaro. Then of course there's the amazing Hina. Hina, do you want to very quickly introduce yourself? She's a powerhouse, but there are not enough words to describe her there. But Hina, do you want to quickly explain yourself and what you do?
Okay, so you've met me. Sorry, I've got some connectivity issues. If you can't hear me, just let me know.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Perfect. Right. So you know me already from Brecon Beacons. Just briefly, just wanted to introduce myself. So I am Hina Shah. I climb mountains. If you can see my backdrop, I climbed a lot of mountains. I've climbed Kilimanjaro twice, Mount Tubkal 3 times, Everest Base, Mount Kenya. What else can I say? Peru, Rainbow Mountain, Machu Picchu, and all the mountains in the UK as well. And sorry, just recently I climbed Borneo, Mount Kinabalu as well. So that's another one I forgot to add.
Where's that?
In Borneo.
Oh, Borneo. Okay.
Yeah, and I love mountains. So for me, it's not just climbing a mountain or anything like that. My story will maybe slightly biased, but when I did climb Rainbow Mountain, I struggled a lot with food and the altitude sickness. And then what I did is I worked on my health. So I lost weight and I got fitter. But what I wanted to do is, I'm born in Kenya, and my vision was always to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. And when I looked for who is the company to take me up Mount Kilimanjaro, I found loads of companies personally, and I found good companies as well. They provide everything. But I then found FITBANKER, and I found FITBANKER on Recommended Asian or Professional Asian, which is a Facebook site, and it's all about all these Asians. And what I saw in that is FITBANKER took a 9-year-old girl in 2019, and when I to me, I'm like, if a 9-year-old girl can summit, why can't I not summit? So all I did was go and see them. There was a function in Camden Town. I went to see them, and then I just signed up. And I think for me, it may be slightly biased, but it's the best decision I've done so far, only because from what I know, this company is the only company that I know will provide monthly webinars. We prep you what you have to look out for, what you have to wear, where you have to buy things. We also give you a packing list. The packing list is of everything, what you will need for the 7 days, and then obviously 3 days of base as well. We also provide monthly training. You've got to join our UK treks, which is not included in the price, but it's monthly, and we have expert trek leaders. Basically, they will talk to you. Mainly, most of them will have climbed either Kilimanjaro or Mount Tubkal with us, or done another mountain, but they are all trained on how to take up anybody on the mountain. One of the good things is FITBANKER also provides the food. Now, for me, food is the main thing. I'm a foodie, and hence I was so big before, but I love food. On day 3, when I was climbing with Ronnie and FITBANKER, on day 3, I got the biggest surprise, and it was the best thing, especially reaching 4,600 meters high. When your body's going to react. As soon as the chef opened paneer, I screamed. I was like, I got paneer on the mountain, and I was so happy. Sorry, I have a cough. And the paneer is so good. They also provide masala chai as well. So in the morning, I just want that warm thing, because it's so cold at night, and you just want something warm tea. They will provide masala chai. last year what we did, we slightly changed the menu and we provided tofu stir fry because we just want to provide some protein food as well. So we've got a chef who is in Moshi himself. He actually provides his own tofu and we get the service team to bring it up on the mountain. Now, we do provide showers. There are proper portable showers that we provide, but we also provide bucket showers as well. It's just amazing to feel that refreshed as well. And the toilets is the big thing. Everybody's thing is, I have tried the local toilets, and trust me, I don't even want to talk about it because it'll make me sick. But as soon as I went near it, I don't want to go there. So we have our portable toilets. Now, for me, it's all about being in nature, and the Hina that climbed in 2020 never came back down. It is a new Hina that came down, a more sassy Hina, and I want everybody to climb Kilimanjaro. Whether it's with us or anybody else, climb Kilimanjaro once in your life, and trust me, it's physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually life-changing. I then also led a team of 42 last year, and that's where you met me, where I was training the team, the biggest team for our cohort, taking them up record weekends. This year, I brought a new mountain to FITBANKER, which is Morocco, Mount Toubkal. And it's a money...
We've done it.
You've done it, and it's brilliant. It is. Did you do it in summer or winter?
No, not me. The other two have done it.
Yeah.
Krishna and
So
Kishore have done it.
do you know if they did a winter or summer climb?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But they walked in the night. The last summit.
Yeah.
They started in the night and finished off in the morning.
Yeah. So I introduced that for FITBANKER because I really think if you want to climb Kilimanjaro, you should climb Mount Toubkal first. It is the best training for Kilimanjaro. So if you want to climb Mount Toubkal as well. Yeah. As also Ronnie has already said before, we do have people on other teams, other companies that we can also recommend, but you won't find anybody who provides something like FITBANKER as well. I got spoiled, but that's, like I said, it's a biased view as well. But I will always recommend you go with the best team on what suits you as well. That's all from me. I think,
Awesome. Thanks, Hina. And sorry, is the question, Dr. Vinay?
Yeah, Ronnie. Yeah. So the leadership program, what does that mean when you say leadership
what
program?
we do is our leadership program is designed around between 8 to 10 webinars that we run prior to the mountain. And as a leadership program, of course, you'll also get a leadership certificates or medal at the end of it. And you pick an area of your life, and you pick this particular area of your life, and each person joins on the start of the webinars, and you look at what's something you want to transform in that area. It could be your fitness, it could be your communication, it could be your career, it could be finances, it could be a relationship. We have people even come and work on their marriage on the mountain. And so they pick an area they want to turn around. And we say, well, what's stopping you from turning that area around? And often it's the hurdle that they can't see the mountain in their life. So what we say is we do various webinars where we coach you on your mindset, like we will coach about building resilience. We'll coach about practicing tolerance and patience, which we'll experience on the mountain. We coach you on what's called minimalism. So how can you survive or get through life or get through a day with just the bare minimum of what you need? And every day on the mountain also has a theme to match that. We talk about awakening your inner child. Now, we talk about that on webinars, and then we experience it on the mountain. So every day on the mountain has a theme. And I might go over that in a short moment. So obviously that was me before. That's me post my transformation, right? I lost 70 pounds, 9 inches off my waist size. And now, post that transformation, nine more summits. Like I said, I was ex-JP Morgan, work hard, party harder. That was my kind of life prior. And I thought that was the definition of success, but I was missing the real highs of life, which I've got from adventure. This was the old me. That's the first time I did Kilimanjaro. I was 103 kg. And at that time, I don't know if you remember, in 2014, there was a big trend of the ice bucket challenge. So I went for world record of the world's highest ice bucket challenge. And you can see my face is frozen white because I obviously didn't think that at minus something degrees, it freezes into ice. So I'd done that at the top there. While I was a banker, I went through a little bit of a health scare. I got hospitalized. And that was, for me, the turning moment to say, I've got to turn this around. And that actually happened shortly after we were married, having a miscarriage and stressing. I realized, getting these heart palpitations, that I am not successful if I don't own my health and fitness. So it really seeded in me that I've got to optimize and prioritize that. And that's what led to the birth of FITBANKER. We've now gone on to coach thousands of lives globally from about 28 countries. We have a coaching body where we train coaches and get them certified, close to 60 coaches globally now that are part of that program. And it all started by this setback, but Kilimanjaro was the first boost of confidence that I experienced that gave me this entrepreneurial drive and adventure drive to go on to do what we do. I'll share with you in a moment some of what we do on each day, but just to confirm, you guys are looking at Lemosho route, right?
That's right, yes. We were hovering between Northern and Lemosho, but we have just honed in on Lemosho now.
I'm glad
you can look at Lemosho and you can look at Northern. They're very similar from the start. The only thing here is this Shira 2, when you come here, we get up to, just before Barranco Camp, we get to a place called Lava Tower. Then we go around the back of the whole cone and we come to this side called, what is it called? Something hut, School Hut.
School Hut, yeah.
We come up to School Hut and then we go up to a place called Gilman's Point, Stella Point, and then Uhuru. Now, the issue with that one is it's not as used as much. And as a result, safety evacuation plus comfort features like toilets and access to water is slightly limited on that side of the mountain, only that part. So there are 3 days of a little bit more exposure and we're vulnerable if something happens than on the side. So this side is a lot more easier. And Lemosho can be done 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, 10 days. We do a 7-day route, right? We recommend 7 or 8 days for Lemosho, so we can do either, whether you choose 7 or 8, but we've so far been doing it in 7. If you choose 8, then of course, that's an extra day, but we have a bit more acclimatization on this route. We've done Lemosho route, we've done Machame route, we've done Marangu route, and coming down Mueca, we've done Rongai route. So we've taken people through all these routes. It's obviously world's tallest single standing volcano. I know you've all looked at the metrics. This is 70 kilometers we're going to cover on Lemosho. On a daily basis, the shortest we'll walk on any day will be about 3 kilometers. On summit day, we'll do the longest walk, which is 17 kilometers. And we will be up from starting to walk till we get to our camp to sleep or dinner time is about 18 hours of movement. So not constant walking, of course, walk and break. We provide 4 nights accommodation at Luxury. I just want to check with your current quote that you have, how many nights at base are you spending?
2 nights. One the night before and the night after in a 5-star.
Okay. I want you to remember me telling you this, and I hope your team remembers this. If you're flying there is a risk right now. It's happened statistically. It's increasing of baggage getting delayed. Then that causes a real impact. So to address the baggage delay and to allow for acclimatization, we recommend 2 nights before. Okay. So that's why minimum we should have 3 nights at base. We do 4 because we are doing an additional excursion at base. We go to a waterfall, we do a mini hike, we go to a cultural village, we go to a coffee plantation. So it depends what we will choose based on what your group chooses, right? So one of the reasons it might occur like our price is higher is you're going there for some people once in their lifetime. And people just see the mountain, get up, summit, down, and leave the country. They miss out a lot of wealth at base. And if you're there, you might as well really see a lot of the beauty that's there. There is so much more beauty than just on the mountain, right? So we very familiar with the locals, very familiar with tradition, very familiar with what will really open eyes and minds of the people is what we want you to experience. We also have a charity day. We do a Seva day. So we go to a deaf center. We've been fundraising for this deaf center. I think to date we have raised over £50,000 for them, right? Over 6 summits. We've previously built a classroom for a school, 2 classrooms for a school in fundraising. Last year we raised 17,000, Hina? Was it £17,000?
This year 16,000.
This is £16,000. But you all will have such an appreciation of the people when we first go through all this before you go on the mountain. Right. And that's what I mean. It will be life transforming because you will look at the life of luxury we live and you'll also get a sense of, and Africa is very different to all the other mountains of the world. What you see in India, what you see in South America versus even Morocco is very different to what kind of experience you will have in Africa, especially in Tanzania. So we first want people to have an appreciation of the mountain people and the people at base. And the raising for charity, you might already be doing it for some other cause, but this is an option. If you want to attach it, we will take you to this deaf center. You'll see what we've built over the years. There's a borehole. There's a solar panels to run the borehole. It's a deaf center, so teachers are being salaried because of us, and a host of other issues. There's also a cancer department in a hospital there, which maybe as doctors you might be passionate about. They are looking for fundraising, and they've asked us to see if we would be ready to adopt that. So this is overseen by the local Lions Club. So for transparency and accountability, we partner with the Lions Club that manage the funds and monitor the application of it. So I'm just adding that, but that's why we have 4 days at base, 4 nights, right?
Okay.
And I do recommend that. And if you want minimum, I would recommend is 3 nights. I would not recommend 1 night before and 1 night after. Even if you didn't come with us, my personal advice to you guys is please allow 2 nights before.
Okay.
Climate, we will go from rainforest temperature, 30 plus degrees. And at summit, it can get as cold as minus 20. But because we reach the top when daylight breaks, the temperature goes up to about 5-6 degrees or sometimes even 10 degrees. So it doesn't feel as cold. But if we were to reach the summit at night, it could be minus 5, minus 10. And if you slept in the crater, which is an 8-day, 9-day option, which we won't be doing, but if you ever extreme adventurers want to do this, that drops to minus 20 degrees if you sleep in the crater at the top. That's an option if anyone chooses. We provide you with the list of equipment and gear that's needed. We take care of everything on the mountain, from your tents to your bags to your sleeping bags. Other mountains, you have to carry your own sleeping bags. Here you don't. We'll provide those, the ones that give you warmth up to minus 20, minus 25 degrees. There's a full gear list that we'll give you. We anticipate summiting on day 5 on day 6. So day 5 night we start. We summit on the 6th day. We spend the rest of day 6 and 7 coming down, right? So like I say, we've worked with people globally. So normally people connect in groups. Now, are you all UK based? Everyone joining on this one?
There are a few from Australia, few from US, and a few from India.
Okay, so what we do is we will work with those people remotely and tell them, get this kind of a hike. We have a hiking log that will have everybody track. We're monitoring their progress. When we see somebody underactive, we will tell whoever your team lead is, or however you want us to communicate with them, to say, listen, these people are taking it lightly, right? Because we have had very fit athletes not summit, and we have had very unfit people, but put in the preparation and they summit, right? So we know what this mountain is. Like I said, there's a Seva Day. This is the Lions Club. We do some tree planting there. We've also funded for their equipment, stationery, their utilities, their water. If you want to attach this, it is a very humbling and moving experience. I highly recommend it. And if you want to do the cancer project attached to the hospital that they have reached out to us asking, we've not yet supported them. They just asked us this year first time. We may back that cause next year. But for cancer, for children specifically, it's a youth cancer department. They are looking for some funding, and we can get more details on that if need be. Okay. We then have a conference room booked in where we do some mindset coaching and a security and safety briefing before. So there's a full half day, about 3/4 day, that we spend in a conference room. We obviously have tea, coffee breaks and snack breaks. We have lunch provided, but this is a great way for us to know everybody within the group. So sometimes some of you might have done mountains together. What we believe matters is that the whole team has good chemistry. Now, some of you might know each other professionally, but we do some exercises like, I don't know if you know what's called life mapping exercise. This was the group with the 9-year-old girl, you can see. And we got it. This was 100%. Everybody here got to summit on this particular one. But there's an exercise we do called life mapping, where we introduce ourselves through sharing a little bit of our journey, but it creates an intimate and safe space, which allows people to be okay. Because on the mountain, in front of each other, we're going to have some of our biggest challenges and most vulnerable moments. Some people will be vomiting in front of you. Some will be having diarrhea in front of you. And at the same time, they'll have their biggest accomplishment, which is summiting a mountain like Kilimanjaro for the first time. So it matters that we work on the chemistry, because we've found in the past where if we don't create the team chemistry, some people just from day 1 or day 2, they feel, hey, I'm not fit enough. I'm at the back. They start to go into the head with a lot of judgment. And as we go higher, we get hypoxia. And that hypoxia makes a lot of people very paranoid and tetchy. And it's not uncommon that we find people very angry and snappy, and there's a team breakdown, or some people get very quiet. And on summit day, they just say, I'm not going. And they just sit in their tent, right? So things like this, managing the human chemistry and human nature, is a big part of what we do. This is what a campsite setup will look like. There'll be toilets there. If there are 18 of you, well, we look at two things. If they're 18 and they're mostly Asian, we have a better ratio of toilets. So we will have 3 toilets for 18 people. If you go with any other provider, they normally do 1 for 20 people or 1 for 10. So you might have 2. I'm not too sure if your company has quoted how many toilets they'll provide.
4. They're providing us with 4.
For how many people? 18.
18 people. 18 people. 4, and they're providing us with cots.
Okay.
And with sleeping mats on them. So all are walk-in tents.
Okay. Yeah, walk-in tents. Okay, so we can do that. We can all do standing upright tents, and we can do. We haven't been using beds, and we don't recommend it, but we have them. So if you want them, we can include them. We do recommend the rubber mat, and then we have a very good. And then we have a rubber mat, and then we have a thick foam mattress, and then on top of that is the sleeping bag. So that's what we do, and we recommend that. And the only reason is that the cots that we carry just is more staff labor to go up. And sometimes it's just each of them could sometimes weigh 15 kg or 12 kg each. So we just are mindful of that. If you still want that, we can factor that in and price that in. In the top right corner, you can kind of see what our table setup looks like. So very well laid out, a big spacious tent. Meals are laid out. There'll be everything there. We've never run out of quality food on the mountain. We have heard experiences, and I don't mean to scare you off, but there have been experiences with other groups where they get a loaf of bread, everybody passes around, they take out a slice, it goes around once and it doesn't go around the second time, and people are like, oh, is that all I had? And then they're calorifically low on energy, and then they don't get to summit, right? We provide a lot of stuff like honey, and there'll be coconut oil, there'll be chia seeds, there'll be supplements, there'll be protein powders, there'll be electrolytes. We want to just increase your chances of summit success. So nutritionally, I don't think there's anybody that beats us. We've taken recipes and trained the chefs to do something they've never made before, right? So Indian dishes and stuff. At base, if you want dosa, idli, dokra, whatever you guys want, we can prepare for that, right? So those at base, not all of those can be replicated on the mountain, but things like pizza as well, we can make on the mountain, pasta we can make on the mountain. So there's a lot of good dishes that we can make at base. Like I say, every day has a particular theme. So this was a group that was going for a world record attempt of world's highest fitness class. We start off with the rainforest. We go through very hot. We do a lot of stretching along the way. We do some pranayam and breath work along the way. We also will send you some videos and guide you on our training webinars as part of the Leadership Summit to practice breath work and some pranayam. Some people may be familiar with it. They may also do that. Only on day 1, we have a packed lunch like this image on the left, and thereafter all the meals are hot cooked meals. Yeah. So only the first day is a packed lunch. This is a picture on the top left of the toilets that are there. They're not as hygienic, so some people can still go use them, but we obviously recommend our chemical toilets that we take. And then, every morning we're going to have a nice hot cup of tea, coffee, or cocoa, or whatever you want. Day 2, we're going through Alpine Heath. So like I mentioned, on each day, this day's theme is minimalism. On day 2, we have a theme where we have everybody create a mantra, like an affirmation that they're going to say in their hardest moments. So we go through a process where you structure your mantra and prepare it before the mountain. And on that day, we have you practice that. There's one little surprise activity that we do on day 2, which, if you join us, we'll tell you then what to do, but it spoils the fun if we give it away beforehand. But it's a very good thing for your mindset, right? And then day 3 is a very hard day on the mountain. Day 3 is what we call the giving birthday. And the reason we say giving birthday is if you get through day 3, it's the first time your body, for some people, will go to 4,300 altitude. And we will experience some altitude symptoms there. We will experience some people throwing up. We will experience headaches and migraines. But if we do the right stretching along the way, the breath work along the way, hydrate along the way, and if weather is on our side, we could have a good chance. At 4,300, we eat lunch there. That's the day Hina was talking about where she discovered paneer on the mountain. And then we come back and we sleep at a low altitude of 3.8. So this approach is called climb high, sleep low. So it increases the chances of summit success. But day 3 is really hard. We say if you pull through day 3, statistically, you've got a 90% chance of summit success. Like I say, we'll do some sort of yoga or stretches along the way. This is a person here. I want to share this photo. This lady is somebody who'd done it with another company, very large groups. She shared with us that she had challenges where they didn't get ample food. She felt isolated and not part of the bigger group. She came with us as a second attempt, summited with us. Not only that, she came a third time with us, right? So this is somebody who previously did with another company, didn't have a great experience, but after coming with us, she wanted to come again, right? Like, and she paid a premium price for that. So it just gives you a sense of that is testament of the experience people have had with us. We'll obviously go through storms along the way, might be rain, might be wind, might be hailstorm. This was a particular hailstorm we're going through. And then day 4, the theme is awaken your inner child. Now, if you do Northern Circuit, you miss out on this beauty, which is called Barranco Wall. It is on Lemosho, it is on Machame. And Barranco
most of them
is the first wall.
Yeah, most of them were scared of this wall. That's why some of them chose the northern route, but we convinced everybody now that this is the best route.
Work with us on this wall. We've taken a person with one hand up this wall.
Yeah.
We've taken a 9-year-old girl up this wall, and we've taken a 70-year-old lady up this wall.
It is the best thing. It's like you're like a little boy. If you remember, you're climbing rocks when you're a kid. It's the best thing ever. You'll be on all your fours. It's amazing. It's not scary at all. And it's just thrilling. It's just thrilling. It's so good. And you've got guides around you to support you. So if we've taken somebody with one arm or 70-year-old or a 9-year-old, there's definitely, you can do this. Even if you don't come with us, you can definitely do this.
Yeah. I would highly recommend you do this Barranco Wall. Day 5, of course, we now get into the desert area, right? So there's no vegetation around. It's completely black volcanic rock. This is where now the nerves kick in because you're like one day before summit. And then this is getting to the pre-summit, the base camp of thing, which is called Barafu, which comes from the word baraf, which means ice. And like I say, people have come here for different reasons. They work on these are photos of people who've been working on their relationship, and there are some experiences on the mountain that really have a great turnaround. You're not supposed to take. Has he dropped?
I think we've lost him.
Yeah, let him rejoin. I hope his phone didn't die.
Hopefully he'll join.
I just clicked through this. I was looking for the Barranco video. Where did that go?
His battery might have died.
Yeah, it might be. That's recording. So let's just see if I can share the. There he is.
Yeah. Sorry, I lost you for a minute.
No worries, no worries. So just sharing like the tents that we use, the outdoors, the nature, the sky that you'll get to see, the camp setups when it's calm and clear skies. This is that 9-year-old girl. Beautiful skies that we'll get to see. Not on this route, but on Rongai route, there's a lagoon that you get to experience. But Barranco Wall is a lot more better. And then the summit starts off at night. So we start off around midnight or 01, and we're going through the dark when it's very cold, when it's very dark. We go with our head torches, and then we are waiting for the first sunrise. When first sunrise comes, people are getting to warm up and really looking forward to that sun. And that first break of dawn, everyone's taking their first selfies, which everyone's excited about. And the first part of the rim you reach is a point called Stella Point. And then from Stella Point, we're going to the highest point at the background there, which is Uhuru Peak. Now, along the way, you get to see these beautiful glaciers, which is why we really recommend people going the whole way to the top. Some people do stop at Stella Point. Technically it's called the summit, but we want people to get to the highest point, which is Uhuru. The distance between Stella and Uhuru is only 1 kilometer, but it can take 1.5 hours to reach there with the oxygen and with our energy levels. So we do push people to get to the ultimate top. This was our 2017 crew. People come there with their banners and signs if they want to represent the company or any message that they want to uphold for somebody. So it's a great place to, like I said, each person makes a mantra. This is a lady who we thought was not going to make it in the middle of the night, had to stop somewhere. Everybody summited, everyone went down, and I went to summit to just wait for her. So I stayed there about an hour and a half waiting for her, and eventually she came along. You know, like I said, we've taken 9-year-old girl up to 70-year-old, and it's, you know, a group as large as 40-something people we've taken. We go with a film crew. I'm pretty certain that your provider is not taking a film crew.
No, I don't think so.
I want to give you a sense of why this is such a pinnacle experience. Did you guys get to watch any of the films that we made?
Yeah. I watched the video which Hina recommended on YouTube.
Yeah. So we just taking the film crew, we take 2 or 3 film staff to make a film. It takes a few months after the summit before the final edit is done, but it's such a memorable experience that we've had people go up and their phone has died or the weather was bad. They didn't even have a summit photo. They're looking to explain to people how beautiful it was, but their phone just didn't have good quality. And no matter how good we are with our phones, like I really use it, there's a point on the mountains, the points on the mountain we get so tired, we don't bother putting our hand in our pocket anymore. We just like, I need to get to my next meal. So taking a film crew who's experienced and fit, and then we have all the power supply to ensure that their devices are connected, is very critical. So, you know, if we go on the London Eye today, somebody will pay £40 for that one photo for a second on London Eye. But if you go 7 days on a mountain, why wouldn't you pay for a film that encapsulates your whole experience? And when we're in our 70s and 80s, we'll look back and say, wow, I'm so grateful I did that. So with a team of 18 is a perfect size for us to make a short film. We will get a sense of the characters. We will do some interviews along the way. We will take photos. We will have a lot of fun. And just the film crew alone and the edit costs us, to take 3 people up, it's going to cost us between $7,000 to $10,000 just for that. But because you're a group of 18, we're getting to spread that cost across it. Now, if you said to me, Ronnie, we don't want the film, right? We can reduce the price. But I would still very adamantly recommend you guys choose a film option, because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. There are people that we've had to bring down on stretcher. This is a stretcher on the mountain, not the best experience, but we do have to forewarn people. And as we come down to base, we have a tipping ceremony.
Yeah.
There's no sound, yeah?
Can you hear?
Yeah,
Can you hear?
but yeah, there's no sound on the video.
No sound on this one. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there's no sound coming?
Yeah. My just now I got a message that my daughter is dancing in the Diwali function. My wife wants me to be there.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah. This is just a video of the tipping ceremony where we're based. Okay, cool. So just sharing a little bit of what's included there. So I guess, you know, what's key for us and is to just hear from you is what would you like to, I would love to.
I think it's Ronnie, I mean, I watched your videos and I'm inspired by what you're saying, but it's just the rest of the crowd, they want to go for a lower price. That's the only thing which is stopping us from going with you guys.
Okay. I mean, look, you can share this with them. You know, if sorry, Hina, can I just check what was the price that you gave for the group?
I said 3-4 for them.
Yeah. I would probably say this, Dr. Venu, the best we could do if it's 18 confirmed, because the numbers make a difference, and we won't remove anything, including the film crew, including all the luxuries. Probably the best that we could do if all 18 sign up and pay in advance. And then obviously there'll be no refund policy on cancellation, so best to take out cancellation insurance. Would be 3,000, and I'm there 2 weeks prior, right? So, but this is £3,000. If this is something your team would be open to, and like I say, there's one extra night we're doing at base. There's some additional excursions we're doing at base. So we're adding extras plus the film crew, and I'm there in person to lead it with you.
Exactly.
So the luxury, the food, me there in person is what we would love for you all to experience.
I was just going to add that.
Okay, I'll convey this. Actually, my daughter is dancing now. I have to be there.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
We'll send you this recording.
Yeah, please send the recording and I'll show it to the others. And let's see what they think. And thanks for the offer. So this is £3,000, isn't it?
Yeah.
£3,000 if you can confirm it's all 18. And
even if it's more, probably more will join us. But I'll let you know.
Yeah, 3,000 is the best we can do to have our team fly in. If we go over 20, we're going to have 2 leaders from our group, so it won't be me alone. I will need somebody else to manage that large group size. So that's why our costs go up. As soon as we reach 20, it triggers a second leader from us.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and look, Dr. Ven, it's been great speaking to you. I know you've got to go for the show, but even if you choose not to go with us, I just want you to know that FITBANKER is the type of organization you can reach out to me or Hina if you have any queries, even if you choose not to go with us. We want you to have a great experience. So if there's any advice we can give you, please feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah, thanks, Ronnie. Yeah,
you're welcome.
Cheers.
Okay.
Thanks, Hina.
All right. Thanks, Dr. Bye. Thanks.